Bing Bam Margera, it's a brand new era. Pod collections are disintegrating into dust before our very eyes. The internet is moving from a space where it sounds like to a more type of vibe. And finally, the killing spree that shocked the nation, perpetuated by Saved by the Bell's Mario Lopez, has finally come to an end. The year is 2001, and there was this anticipation in the gaming community. What were video games going to look like in the new millennia? People looked at games like EverQuest with awe and bewilderment. What? You could be elves in that game? You could fight an ogre? People from the outside looking in sort of understood that while EverQuest was definitely the new hotness, it sort of wasn't for them. It's complex, difficult, and more importantly, super duper time consuming. This new generation of gamers wanted a game that was deep enough to really sink their teeth into, but also accessible enough that they could sort of pop in and explore and invite their friends and have a good time. That's when your stepdad Rick comes in, kicks down your door, throws you a compact disc, and gives you a wink. Like, he might buy you cigarettes, if you ask. But cigarettes aren't gonna change your life. Diablo 2 will. Diablo 2 Mania was running wild, brother. But pretend I said that in a Hulk Hogan voice. It created entire ecosystems in my middle school. Like, we would learn that Jakarta and Papua New Guinea would trade ore with each other for other different ore, maybe. However, we knew that if we wanted Tyrael's might, we gotta talk to Dylan, because Dylan's parents were divorcing, and Dylan's dad would let him stay up till 2 a.m. on the computer. Lucky. Now, Dylan may have had terrible skin and a broken home, but Dylan also had something else. Power. If we wanted that sick chess piece or that OP staff, we gotta give Dylan like a week's worth of lunch money, or do his homework for a week, or go to the movies with him and his dad, and I can't stress this enough, his dad was an absolute mess. Before Diablo 2, Dylan was just some kid with fun-sized Snickers in his lunch bag, which fucking sick. But after Diablo 2, Dylan was a kingmaker. The whole point of this story is to illustrate one thing. Diablo 2 was insanely important. Not just with kids my age, not just within my middle school, but with people everywhere, all across the world. America, Asia, Europe, the other continents that I'm sure you're aware of. Everyone was getting in on the terror, and it's not hard to see why. As soon as you pop this bad boy into your sickly yellow IBM desktop, Diablo 2 grabs you and does not let go. Go back and watch this intro cinematic again. It is top tier. I mean, listen to that voice acting. Look at that framing. Check out this waiter. That's kind of what he sounds like a little bit. Not really. Then you get into the game and the music hits you. It's slow, it's dark, it's dramatic, but it's also driving. The music for the rogue encampment is peaceful and somber, but then you get out into the world and you start exploring, and these low, hurdy-gurdy sounds sort of creep in over drums that overlap and compete with each other, and the whole thing sounds dissonant and chaotic, and that's what this game is. This soundtrack accomplishes something that few video game soundtracks are capable of. It serves as a fantastic ambient backdrop to anything that's going on screen, while at the same time serves as an incredible centerpiece if you just want to shut your mind off and pay attention to it and nothing else. And I don't even need to talk about the gameplay, because Diablo 2 created a gameplay loop that's so simple yet ingenious that it spawned an entire genre of games based around it and nothing else. The problem is, however, is that the genre that Diablo 2 spawned can't seem to creep out of Diablo 2's massive, overbearing shadow. In this middly part of the video, I'm gonna do something kind of spooky scary. I'm gonna criticize Diablo 2 on the internet. Fuck. Now, before you get your stabbing me pitchforks out and your fucking fully lit torches so you can chase me through the streets and hang me up by the bridge, this is not gonna be one of those videos where I just do like mental jujitsu to try to make you realize that the game you love for the past 2 decades is trash. That's not this video. Keep in mind the title of the previous section, Diablo 2 something something. And I stand by that title, but also you have to realize that the game you love is not perfect. In fact, it is rife with bugs and exploits that kind of break it. Remember, this is the same game where you can go do like this, and you can have infinite items. This is the same game where there's only like really one clear choice for mercenaries. This is the same game where if a single snake bites you, your character fucking dies. I don't want to focus on those flaws. Instead, I want to focus on the not so obvious flaws that sort of pervade modern ARPGs to this day. For example, loot gambling. Why the Jesus Christ is loot gambling still a thing? Oh, I'm gonna go down to Demetrius the Smith and I'm gonna trade him 6 Grobel tokens for a 1 in 1,000 chance for an actually useful item. That's so dumb. Why are we gonna disrupt our perfect little gameplay loop for fucking clicking on rectangles? It's madness. The most frustrating thing about loot gambling in these games is that I can't really ignore it to focus on the part of the game that I like playing. Say you're playing the brand new Doom remake and Uncle Video Game pops into your screen and says, oh, if you want this shotgun upgrade, you have to complete this New York Times crossword puzzle first. Better get to penciling. No, Uncle Video Game, I play Doom so I can shoot demons with guns. Why would you make me do something that's not shooting demons with guns? And likewise, I play a game like Diablo so I can kill demons with magic and swords. So let me do the thing that I like instead of clicking on rectangles. There's another thing that persists from the old Diablo 2 era that makes me want to walk right into the ocean. And that's this silly idea that you need to put barriers between your players and respecting their characters. Alright, I need to do an example. Dylan, bud, Dylan. Where you at, bud? Dylan? Oh, fuck. There you are, Dylan. It's right there. Alright, so Dylan here went ahead and purchased Jameson's Castle for the PC. When Dylan plays these types of games, he prefers big, flashy spells. Big old type of move. So he picks the mage class and gives a looky-loo to the old skill tree there. And what does he find? One skill that catches his eye. The icon's all the description is epic, and the name, oh, it's got a good name, because that name is Fiery Slam. So Dylan is all in on Fiery Slam. Cut to a few days later, Dylan is now level 40, and Fiery Slam just isn't cutting it anymore. It's not doing enough damage, every fight is a slog, and Dylan is constantly getting whomped. So Dylan, in his frustration, goes to www.internet.com, asks forum user GooberSnatch42069 what's going wrong, and he tells him that Fiery Slam is not very good. The skill you should be using is Fiery Blast. No harm and very little foul, like this big. Dylan goes back to the starting area, seeks out the Keeper of Hidden Tomes, only to find out that he can only respec the last 3 levels worth of skills. Pop quiz time. What should Dylan have done in this scenario? Is the answer A? It's just a video game. Dylan should play whatever he wants, whether it's powerful or not. Is the answer B? Dylan should have consulted the internet first, for the internet knows all. Or is the answer C? This is aggressively stupid and no video game should do this. I may just be someone who's addicted to huffing paint there, but I really do feel like there should be avenues within the game for players to learn about said game. Sure, reward good gameplay with progression, but don't punish bad gameplay with an unusable character. Instead, reward bad gameplay with the opportunity to learn more about the game. This last point is a bit more of a personal preference, but I think it's worth asking the question, why is every ARPG grimdark? Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with grimdark. In fact, I love grimdark as a genre. It's dark, it's moody, it's dramatic, and it's a great backdrop for I'm one guy and I need to kill a million of insert monster here. However, what I will say is that a little grimdark goes a very, very long way. As a setting, grimdark worlds are defined both aesthetically and thematically by a lack of hope. Muted gray colors, dark, droning music, and a sense that no matter what you do as the hero, your world is fucked. You aren't fighting to save the world, at best you're kind of struggling to give it more time. The problem with this lack of hope is that it can feel pretty hopeless. Compare Path of Exile, Grim Dawn, and Diablo to a game like Titan Quest. Check out those beautiful warm tones. Check out that inviting palette. It's so flush with color. On the other side of the aisle, our options for color are gray or gray, but it's on fire. When I see the world of Titan Quest, I want to explore that world, and moreover, I get the feeling that I'd like to preserve that world because it presents itself as something worth preserving. Instead, I'm stuck with these drab, colorless worlds that are frankly better off dead. That's the crux of the issue. We spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours retreading these same territories again and again and again, and it would make so much sense for these environments to be not only emotionally appealing, but visually stimulating. I can't help but feel this feeling that the genre is being held back by developers that would rather emulate the past than innovate the future. When I started to make this video, I didn't set out to make a video that simply dunked on Diablo 2. I often have these conversations with old friends or people who view my stream about their experiences with Diablo 2 and how much it meant to them. They would often talk about their characters like they were old friends, and you should see how their faces light up when they talk about their OP Hammerden build or their crazy sorcerer. I love hearing about the late nights and the epic loot grinds and the feeling that you felt when you finally got that one item to drop. At the risk of sounding corny, all of that is magical. So I thought for a while, who is this video for and what is it I'm trying to say? And this is what I came up with. Remember Dylan from the very beginning of the video? Well, this is Dylan now. Hubba hubba. Dylan figured out a couple things. Number one, in order to break that toxic relationship of competitive love between his parents, he needed to love himself first, hence the six-pack abs. And number two, Dylan was so touched by Diablo 2 as a kid that he wanted to recreate that magic for the next generation. A noble goal indeed. First of all, Dylan, I want to say your abs, they're out of control. Everyone knows that. Check those puppies out. It's like a carton of eggs. I know how important Diablo 2 was to you and to a bunch of other kids. And I love the fact that you want to remake that magic for the next generation. But here's the thing about magic is, it gets spent, it gets used up. And each time you go back to that same well of magic, there's a little bit less each time. And that may seem like a pretty depressing thing. But the other funny thing about magic is that it can be created, it can be made. You can take the things you loved about Diablo 2 and you can preserve them, you can build upon them, you can make them better, but you can also strike out on your own and you can innovate. What I'm saying is, Dylan, don't make Diablo, make Dylan Diablo. Hi there, Internet Haha Boy Armored Otter here, and thanks for watching my YouTube video. That couldn't have been easy for you. If you've been a part of this community for a little bit now, you've probably noticed that the video that I just put out is not like any of the other videos that I have on my channel. I've been doing this for about a year now, and I sort of realized that if I kept on making the same old video again and again and again, I didn't really have an opportunity to grow or to change or to really explore the depths of my creativity. It's not that I don't love Grim Dawn or that I don't love the community with all my heart, because I truly, honestly do. I just need to do something more and bigger. And so I had a theory. I had a theory that I could make you laugh and I can hold your attention. I can squeak out a cogent point somewhere in this little rambling nonsense of a video. And if that theory proves to be right, then I would love your support. I would love for you to watch me grow. I know that there were some issues with that video. The audio was all over the place. I was wrestling with a green screen. The writing was not super precise, but if you stick with me, if you watch me grow, if you watch me change, I will get better every single video. I will continue to push myself. I will make my writing more concise, my jokes funnier, my editing will be better, and I will understand how to use the tools that I have with me. So if you want to support me, if you want to watch me grow and change as a content creator, obviously liking and commenting and subscribing is great. I don't have a Patreon at this time because I truly don't think that my content is worthy of that sort of direct financial infusion. But if you do want to financially support me, I'm streaming on Twitch 3 to 4 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Central. Pop on there, give me a chance to entertain you in real time, and maybe if I've earned it, you can give me a subscription. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you real soon.